Did you guys go get ice cream while you're waiting?
Thought about it.
And do you deliver?
Too short a meeting.
Darn it. Well, that's fine. I don't want to be here all
All right,
night.
next up, are there any public comments or concerns?
I
Okay,
don't have much public tonight.
I know. I'm surprised. Okay, Holly,
Yes, well, I'm glad to be here again. The drive out here is always very beautiful. It reminds me of home, so it's always nice. I do have some documents I printed out that may be helpful. I've spoken to some of you already and the interest that you guys have to do a park project. So I'm sure some of you have already seen this before, but wanted to pass it around so you all have the information on hand. And that's just the Kansas Department of Commerce guidelines for the Community Development Block Grant for parks and other community centers, that kind of thing. So I know there's also been discussion here with what direction you want to take with the grant. So I just wanted to say, you know, on behalf of Flint Hills Regional Council, we are very thankful for your membership. And we know that you've been very active in our region and in the community here. And so we want to support whatever decision is made, but we are, and I'm here and I'm available to help in any way for the project. I also wanted to pass around a couple documents that are part of the Alta Vista Community Park project that we're doing. This is a grant that I wrote for CDBG last year that we received. And so we've started to work on a park project for replacing playground equipment and surfacing. So that kind of gives you an idea of the experience that I have with a park project in a community close to here. The project cost is about $90,000 and the grant was for about $75,000. So I'm currently administrating this grant as well, and we're partially through the process there and starting to get closer to the construction point for that project. So that's a project that I have been successful with. And you know, even though I have about 2 years of experience under my belt with this. I've been with Flint Hills Regional Council for 2 years, coming up in July, and so that's my background is in writing before that as well, journalism and writing stories of communities. So now I'm writing stories for communities in a little bit of a different way than I was before, and I really enjoy it. And I just want to be of help through the project, whatever decision is made on who's going to write it, who's going to administer it. The important part is, as members of the Flint Hills Regional Council, we want to be an asset to you and assist you in whatever way you need. So I also have my cards finally after 2 years. So if you want to take one and pass it on, that's my contact information. And you know, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them tonight. Or if you want to send me an email or give me a call, I'd be happy to answer any questions as well.
Did they ever get with you on the LMI survey? Did they actually come out with it?
No, they haven't.
I have.
And that's definitely a
a
concern, because the low to moderate income data, once it does come out, will sort of eliminate any survey that's done in the meantime. That's the biggest complication.
You're trying to make us scramble at the last possible.
Which is ridiculous. But the grant is due, and you can see there the application deadlines at the end of September. So really hoping that low to moderate income data comes out soon. So just so that the situation doesn't happen where you get one done and then that data comes out and you have to throw it out. So I'm in contact with Terry about that. As soon as I've been checking that thing every single day. As soon as that comes out, I will. But I also have, you know, if it does turn out, because they've been, and we still don't have it, and that's just the way that federal grants are and are. So I did have, I have this that I can email to Terry. The Office of Rural Prosperity has been in touch with us that they are willing to assist in surveys and that kind of thing. And then there is a housing assessment tool that the Kansas Department of Commerce has created over the past year that they recently announced within the past few months. And that is on the Kansas Department of Commerce website, which is kansascommerce.gov. It's just called the Housing Assessment Tool, or HAT. And that's another resource that I can send that as well, so that you have that. Were there any questions tonight on anything that I can answer for you?
I have something I want to say. When you and I last spoke, I think it was in Yates Center. Does that sound right? Where we go, Clay Center?
Clay Center,
North,
yes,
whatever
Clay
that
Center.
was. I get those confused.
It centers down south.
Okay, so we went north, so it's Clay Center. There's Clay Center north?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we went, north of Manhattan. Anyway, you and I talked about a grant for lights, city lights. And I notified you that I went around town one night here recently and checked every street in the city of Eskridge. We only have 3 lights burn out. So I didn't feel like it was worth a grant for 3 lights. I don't know. I maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but 3 lights, I just didn't feel. I feel we can just call Evergy and they'll come out and replace them. I think that's the procedure for that.
Well, one of the main things about that grant, it's called the Energy Efficiency Conservation Block Grant. And one of the main reasons for that grant is to replace old lighting with more efficient LED lighting. So I'm not sure what your city lights look like right now and how old they are, but even if they're not out, even if they're still functional, you could still be eligible for the grant.
Okay. And I must have misread that because I thought it said that it's not to be used to replace lights.
Well, it's not to put in new lights, and that's because I had asked her about the park and adding in the lighting.
Adding lights.
Yeah.
Adding lights.
But for that, it wouldn't be eligible because they're not already in existence. But in
Okay.
that case, we have the lights. They're just going to upgrade them to more energy efficient, basically.
Okay.
So it would work for them.
So there may be, I don't know what the deadline is now. I forgot. So if it's
Do we
not
know
too
how
late.
many lights need upgraded? Because I know quite a few have been upgraded because it's a lot brighter in some spots than the
Okay,
other.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was really surprised that there were 3 lights out in town. That surprised me because it doesn't look very bright around town. So anyway.
Well,
but-
the grant is open. Applications they're accepting until near the end of July or until the money runs out, and they are getting to that point where the money is quickly going. So.
Okay, then I will rephrase my email to you and say, yes, we'd like to go ahead and apply for it. See what
Perfect.
we can do. Now, today I received an email from Stephanie Imthern, and she had been contacted by the people that operate, I don't want to say own because I don't think it's an individual. The rodeo, is it individually owned or is it group owned?
Committee.
It's a committee owned. And they were asking for the possibility of a grant for the rodeo lights.
Those would be eligible. I actually just finished writing a grant for.
So even though that's not the cities, we can still do that for them.
Is it? Well, it really depends. Is it within city limits?
Yes.
Yes.
Then yes, you can.
Okay, then we want to do that one too.
Okay,
Because
great.
new lights out there would certainly help the city overall,
Yeah.
helps the rodeo people and the rodeo crowd that comes up, which the bigger the crowd, the better for the benefit of the city's going to be. So yeah,
Absolutely.
we'd like to go with that. So whatever help you need from me to get that going, then let me know and
I will. Yeah. Mostly, I'll need contact information for whoever is running that committee, and
Okay.
we can get started. I'll
Okay.
email you about that.
All right, we'll do that. And one other thing, one of the local business owners sent me an email requesting assistance for a grant to help remodel that particular business that they're in and asked me for information. I responded with that I could give them your name and contact, and I haven't heard from them since. So I don't know.
Well, you're welcome to take another one of my cards and give it to them. and-
Okay, let me do that. I'll do that because I reached out to that person, but for some reason that person's not responding and I don't know why. But anyway, okay. That's all I got.
Well, thank you again.
I'll
Thank
get
you
with
for
you
coming.
tomorrow, by the way. I spaced
Perfect.
it. Sorry.
No
But yeah,
worries.
I'll email you.
So thanks for coming and taking the time to drive out here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Like I said, I always enjoy the drive.
Yeah.
so.
Where's
appreciate it,
the FHRC meeting this month? I haven't got a notice on that yet. That would be a week from Friday, it'd be the 21st of June. I'm hoping to host it. I'm hoping to host it in
Eskridge.
Eskridge in July.
Yeah, I don't have service, and I
Okay,
can't remember
All right.
for the life of me right now.
I'll reach out to
where
them
it's at.
tomorrow and see if they've got an answer.
It's on our website. If you go to our website, the
Okay.
first banner that's up there will tell you.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Holly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Clayton.
Yes, sir. Good evening, all.
Hello.
Some visual aids. I think we got our printer issue fixed. Nice. So, 100 beta. So this is the triangle lot as you come into town. It's the very first
Dang.
lot.
Richard.
Richards, sorry. And they're wanting to replace that garage right there.
And it's the same specs.
Same.
Is there one for that?
Don't know. I
Because that's a brand new shed that was just constructed, so maybe he needs to add that to this application too. Because this shed was just built.
Is it on skids? Did we ever decide that thing?
Looks like
I think we just
it's on skids.
it's on skids, but we did decide that we
Okay.
want it on there.
structure.
So
Okay.
So can he put that, just add that onto this one?
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, you want him to do it separately?
You know, because it's separate fees, he can add it on there.
I mean, we can waive the fee on the other one, but then we can approve this tonight without having to.
Okay, I see. what you mean. That was
Yeah,
fine with that.
that's what I'm saying. Then we don't have to keep it.
We just decided on that, and I just want to make sure that we're starting off.
Yeah.
it'll be a nice addition because you can. That's something
Yeah,
you
that's
see
what-
literally coming in.
Beat up.
That's that.
I'll move to approve.
I second.
Motion to approve the structure permit from Richard Hoffman, second by Brett, seconded by Michelle. Those in favor?
Do we need a motion to waive the fee for him to submit for that shed?
Do it in advance.
Yeah, I move to
Okay.
do so.
Did you get all that?
I'll second that motion.
I can repeat it if we need, but was my motion. I don't want to keep saying it.
Those in favor to waive the fee for the second shed?
Well, yeah, but he needs to put it in. You'll tell him that, Clayton, right?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Moving right along. What? One more.
Did they vote?
Yeah.
They did vote? Oh, I missed
Yeah.
the vote. Sorry. Wow, I missed it.
Did we
We're
vote
moving
second
right
time?
along, Kelly. Everybody was good.
Did we vote
right?
the second time?
I think
We all just had a
Yeah,
momentary lapse. in
Yeah.
memory.
I looked around, everybody went like
Yeah.
that. And I said, "Who asked this?"
we were flipping to the next page, ready to rock.
All right.
We're on a roll.
Purchase request from Kramer Consulting,
Yes.
wastewater.
You will see it on the appropriation ordinance.
Mhm.
It's for $58,075. It's the engineering fees that have to do with the wastewater collection system and treatment facility improvements.
Do we just approve? Move to approve?
Mhm.
That's it. I'm done.
Second.
Oh, that was the move?
Was that my motion?
All right.
Was
Motion
that good
to,
enough?
And this is for the grant that we're gonna be applying for wastewater, or is this?
Is this part? Sorry, I guess I should find that out.
I'm just seeing the $58,000, so I'm just wanting
Oh, these are
clarification.
paid.
This is for the
Are we being
ongoing
reimbursed?
work. We just did all the easements for, the paperwork for.
Yeah.
That's what this is for.
It is already.
For the highway.
For all the sewer lines.
Right, so
We get reimbursed for this after, right? Is this the one?
I don't have enough information on this one. I don't know.
Oh.
The KDOT, we get reimbursed for. This one,
Probably not.
I don't think so because I haven't heard that we are.
I thought it was part of could be part of the project, the sewer project. Okay,
Mhm.
so this is probably can't remember what the 2018 agreement was. But I'm assuming that's a long time ago.
Mhm.
This is what they were doing all the easements and stuff for a couple months ago.
Mhm.
This is that project, right? So this is all the
Treatment facility.
That
the
is, it's
sewer,
the same
the sewer
project,
lines
yeah.
in town.
I lost the train of thought, so.
Yeah.
So don't doubt you have an agreement with that probably about that time, but that was,
6 years ago.
Well,
Do you need to look into that before we approve? Because if there's not, I mean, just to be safe. I'm sorry.
yeah, if you don't have the details, I do want to
well,
know.
did you
for
say it was already in the
Yeah.
appropriation ordinance?
Yeah.
Right. Mhm,
So they approved the appropriation ordinance for this payment in it,
mhm.
I thought it was part of the other stuff.
so I guess it's already been approved to pay. I don't know how you have a separate, you have, did they send it with a separate invoice? Approved?
They asked for approval at the next meeting. That's why I put it on specifically.
So what do we do? Take a chance
I'm not getting
or get clarification?
Oh, boy. I mean, it sounds like an invoice that's already been approved.
But why are they asking for it?
Well, they got an agreement that said you're gonna pay this amount.
Yeah, but this is 100% complete, this is 90%, so they're just invoicing as they go, which to me says
Well, I
we
mean, if they,
approved the work.
at this point, since they're still 10%, I mean, it's the contract's not complete.
Right,
If they do something, I mean, the lump sum fee, you've already paid
68,000.
in 40,000. So you already paid the first part of it, and if they're doing something wrong or bad,
I think this is just, yeah, the invoicing, the way it is. Because they completed. Yeah, because they already paid the 68, yeah.
So-
90,000.
I mean, if it is,
Yes,
if they are doing something wrong, it's not like we can't get it back.
According to this, the agreement was made in 2018.
Right. Sharp memory here, 6 years ago.
A lot of times I can't remember what happened last week.
6 minutes. Yeah, sometime.
Well,
So out of pocket sewer fund now, this is what's been going on since 2015. Final funding will most likely be USDA. Sewer fund has plenty to cover the engineering, so we're good.
Okay.
The
So
fund is
USDA.
good, we're good. So I'll keep my motion.
and I'll keep my second.
Any further discussion? Those in favor?
We know what we're voting on.
That passes. Or approved. Okay, we have a letter for the wiffle ball tournament.
I'll move to approve the date change.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the wiffle ball tournament date change. Have we ever got we haven't got the insurance certificates
Not yet.
right?
Sometimes that can take a little bit because
Yeah.
events are so weird with insurance
And
agents.
this gives us more time.
There you go.
Exactly. Okay, motion by Brett and seconded by Annie.
Mhm.
Further discussion? Those in favor? That's approved. 4-0. Next up is the cyber quote, liability quote from Flint Hills Insurance Agency.
You guys have this now, or is
Yeah.
it something on the ad?
Providing a quote to add.
Then I remember that we don't necessarily have to. This was just getting us a quote to know in case we wanted to.
I think so.
Okay.
And did I not read where our computer guy said it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I sent it to Chris Culligan, our IT guy, and I attached the letter. It's on the last page. He sort of breaks it down and is willing to answer. I mean, he didn't have answers to all of it, but said that if there were any other questions, he'd be happy to go over it with any council members.
Here's what the advantage of this is. If you have a ransomware attack or breach of the system, I don't know if you guys have social security numbers in the system.
We do.
If that data is compromised, taken, then you'll likely be required to have some form of investigation. This cyber liability policy will cover most elements of the investigation and some damages, and cover you against third-party claims if you do expose their information. So that part of it is certainly, you don't have to have it, but if you do have that, then that's where that comes in handy. Because there's nothing, if you have a breach now, you're going to have to pay out of pocket to determine who got it and try to track it. Whether the information that was compromised was sensitive or not, and what kind of steps you have to take to advise the public of what happened.
So it's something that you are suggesting that we have.
I think so, yeah.
Did you,
Did you want to get another quote?
did you see Culligan's response?
Yeah,
It's
I
not-
think that I think he's approaching it as a hardware thing. I
Mhm.
understand completely that that's just, it's probably, when it comes down to it,
He has
hardware and software,
recommendations.
it's just, it's helpful, but it's not a big deal. What you're really trying to do is protect yourself from those, that the information does get out from being a liability issue.
He's saying it's not likely to happen. We're saying this covers us even if it does.
And he says
Wow.
it's not likely to happen, and I'll give you two people it's happened to. First off, the court system, Stan's court system. Second of all, Stumbo Hansen. It's happened to us.
Ransomware did?
Yep.
Wow.
So,
It is a
It's more than
business these days.
Yeah.
it's more than a little bit of, maybe you won't get hit, but
He does say that one of these is actually too low if we did get hit with that. What was it? Too low if you do need it. The identity recovery coverage. Insurance coverage might be too low if you do need it. But he says we should probably have coverage there for sure.
So what are you saying is we should do this? Or get another quote?
Certain parts of it.
Mhm.
So do you want to take a look at it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
I'll move to postpone a decision until the next meeting on June
24th.
24th.
Second. My turn.
Listen, you've been a little slow.
But
I know everybody got.
take a crack at it and see what we can do. Okay, for sure.
Maybe to extend.
You're gonna get that information for us, Jason, is that right?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Clothing allowance checks. I asked that this be put on the agenda because I questioned an amount that was on there, and after it was explained to me, then I feel like I fully understand why it was different than what we had said. And I just want to clarify with the council what had happened. We had authorized $400 clothing allowance, and the checks were actually for $433.15.
Because of technically
It's the
considered income.
taxes.
Well,
it's a taxable fringe.
it's and the $33 and whatever the change was, I don't remember. What
13
was
was
it?
3313.
$33.13 is the city's responsibility for FICA and Medicare, as I understand. Is that correct? So I understand why the amount was higher, because that is what our responsibility. That did not come out of the employee's check. They end up paying that at the end of the year when they get their W-2s, and they have to file at that point. The only one that I would question on that, the only thing I question on that, because I was thinking about this later, and I hadn't said anything to Kelly because I didn't really know and I didn't want to start a firestorm. But isn't this also a capers thing? Are we supposed to be paying capers part of that?
This is reported to Capers with their income. Yes, it is.
So they'll end up, I mean, do we pay a portion of that? Okay, or is
Every-
that just
That
theirs?
3313 covers all of the taxes that
Oh,
are
including
required. Yes.
capers.
Mhm.
Okay. See, we didn't talk about
Yeah.
capers, and I was just thinking Medicare and Social Security. So I just wanted to make sure we wouldn't get in a bind with that later on down the road. So, okay, I'm good with that. If you guys are good with that.
So does that go for bonus checks when we give them?
Yes,
And
at Christmas
has that
time.
been
Yes.
what's happening in the prior years?
Well,
It has not been happening in the
No.
prior years.
In
So
prior
it's been
years.
being done wrong.
Right, it's not been kosher. She's doing it the right way. I guess there's two ways to look at it too, because I've had bonus checks where they, do the $100 and take the tax from that. So there are two ways to look at it, but she's doing it the very legal way, and we want her to do that, obviously. So
I don't want to have to go
Right.
back for the last X number of years to try to figure that out.
yeah, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't even want to begin to put her in that position because
But
it would be a nightmare to say the least.
No, but it's nice to know that all those years it was being done wrong.
it's not a one-person problem either.
No, it's not. You're exactly right. It's not. There's a lot going on that we all need to know what's happening. And I'd be the first one to admit, I don't profess to know everything that's going on and what order it's supposed to be on. I suspect a lot of things are different, so I ask questions. I tick people off because I ask questions.
It's a good question to ask them.
But I want to know the answer. That's the reason I asked the question.
So do we need to make a motion to accept the new amount or just,
I don't think we do at all.
okay, good.
No, I just wanted to explain why. If anybody saw that check,
Well, I just want to keep it all legal.
no, I understand, but you understand where I'm coming from. I didn't want
Exactly.
you guys coming back a month from now and said, hey, why did you sign those checks when it was blah, blah, blah? Okay. On the list is the employee handbook. I'm gonna ask that we table that to the 24th.
I meant to read it today, literally.
I'll
And
move the table until the
Messed up.
24th.
I'll second that.
There are hard copies of the handbook over there if anyone
Yes.
needs it.
I would like that. I was trying to read it this weekend.
I'll
and
second.
had a little bit before, but
or did you
spotty
do it
internet
already?
while we were camping.
You're good.
I meant to print it out and
Okay.
highlight and everything.
I don't think we need to go through the motion and approval, do we?
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
see, this
All right.
It's a
table.
table.
All right. Motion to table the employee handbook to June 24th by who? Brett, seconded by Jason. Those in favor?
Sure.
Okay, I will have a mayor concern I want to talk about, but I asked the council first. You guys have anything you want to talk about?
I just wanted to mention that Devader Concrete is in town starting this week with all projects from the city. Anybody want to know what the bid was prior? I can pull it up.
I mean, we approved the one
It
bid,
was
but
35,000
okay.
and some change. I did talk to Devader and loading tearing out up there. They tore out a little bit more of the street than they anticipated, which is gonna be a little more work for Devader to put it back. So that bid is going to be a little bit higher, he said.
Okay.
In order to put
They
it back.
tore it out accidentally or on purpose. So I mean, what's it?
I
part of the
don't know. I
project?
didn't get the logistics. I just, when I met with him and Mike this morning, that's what he wanted to make sure to clarify that it's more was torn out or whatever than
Then
was
debaters on it.
anticipated. So he's gonna have to, it's not gonna be a whole lot, because I think Mike said it was like a grant of maybe 6 to 8 inches, but it's like out into the street that's tore out, so. I didn't have a chance to drive by because I was on my way to work, and then I came directly here, so I didn't drive by either, but he's starting this week. Again, it'll be not finishing, but getting close to finishing the interior sidewalks of the park, the alley entrance at Bennett's, and then there's the alley entrance at the Methodist Church, and the sidewalk and curbs and gutters that go along 99 there along Paydays.
So the bell tower is what you're talking about?
Mhm.
Or Same Methodist? Okay.
No, I certainly think that we do have to take care of that 6 to 8 inch problem. But I think we need to know what the cost is going to be as soon as possible so we can get that approved.
And I am gonna meet with him tomorrow again with Annie
Mhm.
at 11:30, so we can definitely ask him and get
get to go to the next meeting so that we can get it approved, get it allocated.
Yeah.
One of us can let Kelly know and she can email everybody sooner than the next meeting.
Okay, any other council members with a concern? Okay, you may have heard me earlier tonight say that I drove around town. Well, actually, Marcia and I did. It was like 10 o'clock at night. Couldn't go any sooner because it wasn't dark enough. But anyway, we went through every single street in town, even the dead end ones, to make sure there wasn't a light pole at the dead end. And like I said earlier, there's only 3 lights out. I did notice that the tennis court lights were out. And I don't know if the park's aware of that or not.
I don't think we did. You know,
We're
Crystal
aware of
just
it,
told me that the other day, actually. That
but
ball
it's
should
been
be
out
on.
for years. It hasn't been working because I used
Has
to
it?
play tennis a lot and you can't flip the switch for it to come on. And that's been like that for years, but it's also been explained by Mike with the electrical situation that's down there of why it's not working and why he hasn't done anything when we have future projects.
I thought
for
it was the other pole that was the problem. I thought that one still worked okay because we plug into that.
Yeah, but when you flip that switch, it's
It
not
doesn't
coming
matter.
on.
All
So
that stuff in
It's a big
the park
light,
is
like a ball
very,
field light.
very old and unsafe, and we need to replace it.
So when I
That's
talk
what-
to Kelly about the grants for lights, I'll see if I can throw that in there too.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, unless you guys want to do it with the park.
If it's electric.
I think we'll do that on the CDBG. We need to bury the lines in the park.
That'd be nice.
So I don't know that it'll stay where it is, basically.
Right.
So I don't worry about it for us. We'll try to get that on the CDBG. I'm really hoping that'll fit in there somewhere.
And then the other thing that happened that night, got down there by the maintenance shop. Everybody knows where that is. Okay, and it's pretty dark down in there too. And the first thing that hit me was I thought we had security lights at the maintenance shop. And in the far back, I guess it'd be on the northeast side of the parking lot, there was a security light on, but on the other rest of the place, there was no security light. So I went down there and sure enough, there's a security light when you first come in and it's out.
Oh.
So we need to get that taken care of.
Okay.
But the surprise was, Marcia, do you see somebody down there? She goes, yeah, there's a pickup truck down there. I said, well, let's go see who that is. So I drove down there. You put Kelly on the spot. Come on in.
Hi, I was just looking for, do you guys want to? Really quick. I'm sorry.
Can you give us 5 minutes?
Okay, yeah, we're almost done.
Five minutes, please, if that. Anyway, so it's a good on the spot. It's not a bad thing, okay? So anyway, so I pull up there and there's 3 people out there. One of them is Haley. And one of them is Zim,
Limbacher.
how's it pronounced?
Zeb.
Zeb Limbacher. The third person I couldn't see because he kept bouncing in and out of the shadows and trying not to be seen. And they were getting water. And I said, Haley, what are you doing? She said, well, it doesn't look like I'm doing. I'm getting water. I said, why are you getting water? She said, well, because I can. I said, what do you mean because you can? I said, don't you have water on at your house? He goes, oh, no, the city shut it off. I said, then why are you down here getting water? She says, well, I'm going to pay the city clerk for it. They know I'm coming down here. And so they do. She goes, yeah, I'm going to go. In fact, I'm going down in the morning and I'm going to be paying for it. So did she ever come down?
No,
didn't
and I
think so.
didn't know anything about it.
And I'm
Never
sure,
heard.
oh, I know. I'm pretty sure that was a fictitious story from the,
Is that
from
where
the
people
get
fill their water tanks up?
Yes.
Is that?
And I don't think we ever know when somebody goes down there to fill it. It's by honor system that they come up and pay for it.
Oh, they do pay for it?
Mhm.
I know there are people that go down there and get water that pay for it.
Absolutely, yes.
And then we've always had a problem of people that don't.
So the question
Ladies of
becomes-
the world.
So the question becomes, first of all, we need the security light fixed. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And second of all, do we need to put a gate up and secure that facility? I mean, we've got other stuff down there besides the water. We have sand out there. We have piles of gravel out there. If they're taking
Wouldn't be a
water,
bad idea.
if they're taking water, I mean, I know it's an inconvenience for the customers who come in at 6 o'clock after working the field all day long and going down there, but maybe the people that have access to the water could have a key to the gate to get in and out if they have to. I don't have a problem with that either. And that can be controlled. I don't see a problem with a key sign-in log, or whatever. I don't see where that would be a problem at
Kind of
all.
like they do for the tree dump on the
Mhm.
place.
Well, the difference is the tree dump doesn't cost you anything to go
Right.
in and out. The water does. So if you're a water customer, you come in and you're paying her for water. Oh, by the way, Jason, here's a key, sign right here for this key. It's gonna be locked. You're responsible for unlocking and locking it when you go get.
Usually they do go out during the daytime though, most people.
Yeah, I know, but like Brett said, there are people that have, that need access after hours.
On a positive note, did you see they cleaned their curb today?
Who, what?
That house, Haley's house. The curb was.
They've been working on it, actually.
down.
Barry Driggs
Oh,
was.
I was gonna say
cleaning.
that wasn't Haley doing that. I got a call
Wasn't
from
Haley
somebody.
herself.
I got a call from a customer and says, hey, just want you to know that I saw a city employee out there cleaning the curbs at Second and Pine.
I didn't think it was a
I got
city
4 of
employee.
those text messages.
You got 4. I only got 1, but still somebody called and
It
told
was
me.
Barry Driggs, and when I talked to
It
when I
wasn't
ran
Barry
it-
that I saw driving by this morning.
but this was last week.
Yeah.
I think I was in the office when I was
It was
talking
last-
to him
last
about it.
week.
And he had been cleaning down there, and I told him that Haley and them had started cleaning their own curbs.
Oh,
And
well,
he
they
had
cut it
noticed
out
too.
and cleaned that whole curb. Yeah.
That's
It
a
was
shock.
just- it was Justin.
This is work.
Maybe,
No, this was
Was
this
that
morning.
last week?
Maybe
That's
they
what
were-
I'm saying. This morning, I
Maybe they
saw
were-
it with my own eyes.
well, maybe they were concerned that I was gonna come in here and talk about him taking
It
water.
would surprise me if you saw that you saw that this week. I was just speaking prior.
No,
to
I
last
just
week.
was like, well, it's for sure not Barry.
He was
I
across.
can tell the difference
He was
between
across
them.
the street doing stuff. He wasn't doing it on that.
This was
specific
very early
corner.
this morning. You know, my work hours and not the city's work hours. But
I have nothing else to say.
Did we get the sand out of the?
yes,
Do we know? Okay.
That was on the.
it was
That was
done.
on last week, whatever.
Mhm.
It's in the appropriation.
I moved to adjourn.
Too late.
Second.
It's too quick. for
Motion
me.
adjourned by Michelle, seconded by Brett. Everybody in favor? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you guys, everybody.
Isn't it nice having a city
Yeah.
employee
I'm
meeting?
sorry.
You don't know
I
the
know.
difference between this and another meeting?
Yes.
So keep on moving.
Right.
Feels a lot better, doesn't it?
Oh, he's the same. When she gets in.
City only.
Right.
Solamente.
Are you learning Spanish?
Ciudad solamente.
Todd's got a Spanish,
International flare.
International flare.
he's got a Spanish, what's the, boat ride? What do they call those?
Cruise?
Cruise. That's what my brain just went. You got Spanish?
Yeah, I don't know
kids?
the- No. It's all my high school Spanish.
Is it cruise control?
It's out of control.
Okay.
Very much.
We're all